Hi folks, Wiley here, and I'm going to be doing another Viviva color sheets demonstration using their watercolors. So here's my quick drawing, and actually it took a bit of time. And of course I'm just going to dive right in. As I said, I'm using the little Viviva color sheets, and I'm going to be using I guess it's called a styrofoam makeup palette for mixing my colors. As you can see, I've used this before, and these are really pretty handy for sketching out of doors, but I'm working in the studio today. All right, there's my styrofoam palette, and I'm just going to dive right in. Now this is very quick. I think this is going to be a 15-minute video, and so don't look for me to be very neat. I really just put the colors on and I go to town and I clean it up later. So here I am using I forget the name of the color. You'll just have to figure this out yourself when you buy these sheets. These are a lot of fun. And they are just printed. They're just a little booklet where the color is printed on the page, and it really is, as soon as you wet it, it's charged up with a ton of pure color, and it just really feels like you're just getting paint right out of a tube. It's quite exceptional. So I'm just going to run through here and color in the windows, a little bit of sky activity back there, and we'll quickly move into the trees. And my painting is slightly tilted so you can see the watercolor kind of runs. I kind of have to do it this way to do the video. This is not ideal for doing watercolor because you need not a flat surface, just a very slightly inclined surface so the paint doesn't run on you. You'll see once in a while I probably go back and touch up, try to capture any drips that are working their way down the surface, because it will do that. Just going to use one brush, just 1 cup of water and just go to town. Still working in the green background. And let's see what's next here. Probably gonna mix up color for the stones. It's a granite structure, so there'll be a little bit of burnt umber and probably some of the green that I already had on the palette. Anytime now. Ah, there I am. Here we go. And you'll see that, I put the color on rather heavy. As I said, these colors are very strong. I should have used more water, but what you'll see is I'll go back with the paper towel and kind of blot it back a little bit to remove some of the color. See, it just really came out too much. So I'll just spread it around, keep adding some water. It'll work out just fine. There you go. Adding color to the stones in the lower part of the structure. All right, now take the paper towel and you can even probably wet the paper towel a little bit and just blot off any of the color that's just too strong. You see, I'm actually rubbing it off, and I can get away with this if you're very light. I like to paint on 100% rag matte board. I actually prefer this to the textured papers that many people like to use because I do a lot of detail. Not necessarily in this picture, but in larger, more serious paintings. Excuse me, I do a lot of detail, and I lose my voice when I talk too much, so bear with me. So putting in some shadow color under the second story porch. You can see there's a large wooden overhang here with a second story balcony. Then shadow under the soffit, bring a little shadow down. And here we go, a little slate color for the roof. And I am not a color purist in that this brush still has a little bit of the green, a little bit of the brown, and I put blue in it, and I let my colors kind of play. So a lot of what I do, you know, like here's pure yellow, but it still has a little bit of the dirt from some of the other colors. I just call it dirt's little excess color. You know, and I think it makes a painting more cohesive when you have, you know, color kind of flirting back and forth, and, you know, kind of plays together better. And what I guess I'm trying to say is I don't want, you know, like if this was, I was doing this yellow and I had purple in the brush, obviously I'm going to clean out my brush a little bit. I don't want it to completely contaminate the yellow, but, you know, that's the idea. Just, you know, you don't have to be so perfect with your color. Just let it be, have fun with it. All right, so I'm painting the columns now that hold up the second story porch, or the posts. All right, little burnt sienna for the chimneys. Again, you can see it too much color, just add a little bit of water. Now this car, I want a blue-green color, so what you're going to see is I'm going to paint it green first, and then a little later I'm going to come back over after it dries just a little bit and put some blue over it. And you can do that because watercolor is transparent. You can overlay colors, and as long as you don't brush them too much, you won't pick up the underlying color. It'll just give a nice tone to it. And again, I'm painting on this matte board, and this matte board tends to absorb color, so it doesn't scrub off quite as easily as you think. And all right, you can see, yes, I've got that purple on there really too much. So we kind of clean that up a little bit. And then I think little paper towel activity. Yep, gonna blot it a little bit. You can see that, yeah, it makes it interesting. It gives it all kinds of depth. Okay, what's next? Okay, here comes the blue. Comes the blue over the color. You can see how quickly that color sunk into the board, and I go right over this little blue-green color. These colors play so well together. This is a very innovative system, this Colorsheets, where you just touch a little bit of color on the board and you go to town. Alright, so I'm going to do the shutters now. This is a historic building around 1790, I believe it was built. It's in remarkable condition. It has been restored several times during its lifetime. And its current paint job is very colorful. This strong magenta shutters and yellow ochre trim. It's pretty striking. I believe it originally had a porch one level up also. Not a porch, but I'm sorry, a roof overhang one level up, covering these two. You see the doorways here. This was built as a duplex for two families originally. And only the lower porch remains, and in fact it's a recreation, it's a restoration. The original's completely gone. Alright, so I'm going to go back and yeah, okay, gonna paint the doors, and then probably next we'll be doing the yellow ochre trim around all the windows. No, I'm gonna darken the showroom windows. I'm narrating after the fact, so you see I'm guessing the sequence. All right, this is a great big granite outcropping right next door, so just put a little dull paint on it, sidewalk paint, probably a little bit of street paint, And yeah, here's the building next door, which is actually very pale, plain, much more plain building. So I'm just going to kind of hit it with a little color to make it dull it down a little bit, dull the white down a little bit. And I'm going to put a little sky color in the windows, in the glass. All the way across. Okay, a little shadow under the upper roof overhang. Little sky color in the windows and in the dormers. It's amazing. This is a 4-story building made of local granite. It's just an amazing structure. I know I'm supposed to be talking about the paint, but I get kind of excited about the buildings, and you know I do love history. Okay, a little slate gray or slate black, whatever it was called, on the tires. I'll come back and put a little shadow inside. I'll come back and put a little shadow under the vehicles at some point. Plants them on the ground. All right, little window, little glass color in there, and a little bit more dark there. Yeah, very quick. I told you this is going to be a quick painting. Okay, we're getting there. Just a couple more minutes. Yep, there it comes. Just dull that white down a little bit. Kill that white. It's calling too much attention to itself. Now I think it's going to be a little yellow ochre window detail around all the window frames. Colors really cover really well. They're really good, solid, pigmented colors. Now what I'll do with this painting, you know, since it's very roughly painting, is I'll come back and really with a small brush start cleaning it up and playing with some of the details later. But this is just a quick demonstration painting. Again, more shadow under the soffit there. And picking little details here and there. More shadow. Oh, looks like I'm done. Oh, not quite. Just highlighting some of the stones. And here we go, a little shadow under the cars to plant them on the ground. Alright, that's about it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.